let's see. So we're gonna go to rhetoric, and
Rhetoric.
yeah, man. So what's rhetoric, and what can
Okay.
we do about it?
Rhetoric is the name of the last area, which is the most complex and probably the one that takes the most skill to master, and one I'm having lots of fun, learning about now. And that's the ability to really be a smooth talker, to have the right thing to say at the right time, the right reaction. So if you want to persuade somebody, if you want to influence them, you've got the mechanics and the verbal dexterity to steer a conversation in the direction you want. A little bit of that might be, for example, using the word you, which we touched on. One area I'm looking at right now is the idea of hacking conversations. And I actually just made a little website called conversationhacks.com. And these are like little lines, little bite-sized lines you can throw into conversations to get predictable results. So an example of that is if you're ever in a situation where somebody's creating a difficulty or a challenge for you to overcome. For example, you go to a ticket booth and they say, "I'm sorry, your ticket's not valid." And you say, "Oh, really?" And they go, "Yeah, you can't come on the train because it doesn't work." And it's like, great, that gives me no options. What do I do here? So one phrase we can say is, how do we fix this? What that does is that opens up the realm of possibility that the person you're talking to now has to go and find the resources to fix the problem for you. So that's got me out of a lot of problems, like forgetting a train ticket, for example. You haven't got a train ticket. How do we fix this? I sell you one. Good, okay. That's better than getting fined. Note for PR departments and whatnot, I do buy train tickets now. Other little phrases that I love are, you can answer any question with, "There's a lot of variables involved," or "There's a lot of factors at play. There's a lot of forces at work." So I used that one to get me through university when I was getting questioned by my lecturer. So your data, little bit of a confusion there. Why is that interesting blip just popped up? Why? How can you explain that? Ooh. There's a lot of variables. Yeah, I guess there is. So that's a nice little answer.
I can just see it like some guy getting pulled over by the cops. Have you been drinking tonight? Well, there's officer with a lot of variables.
Yeah. And that's.
I wouldn't recommend doing that.
No.
That's it.
As I said, I like to try everything out, experiment. I have to draw a line on that one. But a very good answer as well is, why do you think that is? Have you been drinking? Why do you think that is? Let them take their evidence, then you can tear their evidence apart. So rhetoric is a fascinating area. Now, what I advise is, if you're listening to this and thinking, "Oh my God, that sounds cool, I want to learn all that," that is major geekage. That's where the real geeky stuff gets done. My advice is, work on the other areas first.
Right.
When you've got your ability to converse elegantly, people are throwing all sorts of conversation at you, answers that you're not sure how to handle. When you can handle anything anyone can say to you, when you've got presence, when you've got all those factors, then look at rhetoric. It's very advanced stuff, and if you try it too soon, and it's very tempting to, it all falls apart. Start with your belief first. Once you've got your belief strengthened, change your outlook of life, change your attitude, be a nice person, help people out, and try and leave every I used to say, try and leave every person you meet better off than you found them. Now what I say is, try and make sure you leave yourself better off every time you find yourself. Okay, every time you talk to someone, make sure you leave yourself better off. Once you're doing that and you've got that happy, positive, playful attitude, then it's time to be a bit charming. Smile more, hold your eye contact. Then engage in fun conversations, insert jokes into them by becoming more spontaneous. Then when you're doing all that, your presence is going to start increasing anyway, and your ability to connect with people is going to start improving, because they're going to say, "Who's this sparkle of light in the corner of the room? I want to find out who this person is." And then after you've got all that, and it will come, then that's when you play rhetoric, and that's when the real fun happens.